The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this.
Woo, we got so much to get to. Mr. Taliaferro TV. All right, so you're never going to see this again. Let me make this clear. You are never going to see this again. Trust me. I know how Yo Gotti and his camp move. You're never going to see Gotti speak about this Young Dolph situation the way he did. Unless, I believe, I'll leave this window open. If me and him sit down for an interview in the future, maybe then. But honestly, even then, I doubt it. I'm not going to lie. You're never going to hear Gotti talk about Young Dolph the way he did in this Breakfast Club interview. His album, I Still Am, comes out at midnight tonight, so go check that out. Tonight on Apple Music, streaming platforms. You can go buy it as well. People used to buy music. But let's talk about what exactly was said. Now, I would be all day driving you with quote after quote after quote. I'm already going to do 3 videos on it. I don't want to do the quote things with here. I'll tell you what I felt about the interview, though. And I'll tell you some of the things Gotti said. Now, Gotti, he spent 20 of the 34 minutes, I counted, talking about Young Dolph. He kept getting question and question from the Breakfast Club about Young Dolph. Let's start it here. The first thing they was like, what's the issue? What's going on? Like, why can't y'all get along? And obviously, we all know that Young Dolph he's had a hell of a year. And I mean that hell of a year, not in a good way. He's been shot at in Charlotte. And obviously, he has a situation going on out in Cali. A lot of people have tied Gotti's name to it. Charlamagne asked him, said, you the person of interest in that? Or you were a person of interest. What was that about? And Gotti was like, look, I'm a person of interest in a lot of situations. If something happened outside of New York right now, they're going to say I'm the person of interest. He dodged that question. He dodged that one, but he opened up. I was like, damn, he finna dodge it the whole time. And Angela brought up, I thought you weren't going to even do interviews because of all this going on. And Gotti was like, I thought about not doing interviews because that's not the right narrative that I'm trying to preach. We should be talking about the fact that I got another hit record and rack it up. And I've been doing hit record after hit record for quite some time. We not talking about that. We talking about something entirely different that, you know what I'm saying, it's not my story to tell in a way, which is what he's saying. Gotti emphasized, I don't have an issue with Young Dolph. Me and Dolph, and this is a quote for quote, he was like, me and Dolph have never had an issue. We've never had an argument. We've never had an issue at all. It's only been about the only thing he could put together was that it's about Gotti putting artists on. He was like, the point is, I'm the biggest artist out of Memphis. Period. I put artists on from Memphis. And, you know, and he kind of inferred, he didn't say this word for word, but it feels like a marketing tool from Young Dolph. Like, yo, every time, you don't think that he's asked Charlamagne, you don't think that's weird? Every time something happened to him, he goes, puts an album out after it. He's like, I'm not trying to say that he's planning on getting shot at or shot, but you don't think it's ironic is the word I use, that every time something happens, he puts out an album. And Gotti pretty much inferred this, and I'll say this. He believes that Young Dolph is looking for a way to publicize his projects. And that is the best storyline that Dolph could tell right now, is that him and Gotti are competing for the biggest rapper in Memphis slot, right? I'll tell you this though. The interview went left, and there's something that I will further discuss on another video about Charlamagne asking Gotti about how this situation is similar to Tupac and Biggie. I'll talk about that on another video. Because that really hurts me. Yo Gotti talked about a couple other things. He talked about business. They asked him again, did you think, is this interrupting the business? This ongoing notion from promoters, especially down south, that we can't bring you and Young Dolph in the same menu, excuse me. Like, Gotti was like, look, he acknowledged that it could hurt business, but he also acknowledged this. I'm not the one that's tweeting. I'm not the one making videos. I'm not the one making songs. What he's saying is, yo, how do I control this narrative if I'm not the one putting the negative energy into the atmosphere, right? He's saying, look, I can't control what another man does, because the Breakfast Club tried to go over and over with the same thing. Look, how do y'all end this beef? Because we all want that, right? We all want that. How do we end this beef with you guys, or what it perceived to be negative energy from Dolph's side to Gotti? He just does not like that man. Every time Gotti speaks about him in the public, now we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We'll never know. But in the public, the only person with bad energy is Dolph the Gotti, right? In the public, in the interviews, on Twitter, in the videos. Y'all seen the Play With Your Bitch video. That was a very heartless record. Speaking of that record, they asked him about that. Gotti brushed that one off. He was like, I ain't listening to this. I ain't really even on that like that. I ain't even listening to music like that. So again, he acknowledged, look, I don't know how to stop this at this point, pretty much, because he's like, I'm not the one doing the tweeting. I'm not the one that's back to back on social media or posting videos or dropping diss records. I don't know what do y'all want me to do? And I think this is from the Breakfast Club, because this is a fake narrative that's gotten out in the atmosphere. There's never been a record to come out where Gotti has said Dolph's name in a record, like how Dolph continues to say Ho Gotti and all that. There's not a record out there like that. There's not a Yo Gotti diss to Dolph. Now, we believe, I've listened to some verses on some opening records, some intros of this project. He talked about Dolph. He's discussed the situation. Obviously, he's discussed it, but he ain't never tried to diss him. He's discussed the situation on record a couple times, I believe, from what I've heard. And he's not going to be the type of person. What we want in this social media era is for a person to come out, go get on video and say, look, I don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with you, young Dolph. I don't do this. And Gotti ain't that type of person. That's not his personality. He's saying, I'm not on that right now. I'm trying to make hit records right now. I'm not trying to do that. Now, again, I have to emphasize, because I don't want to sound biased to Gotti, I don't know what the hell goes on behind the scenes. Maybe there is the case where some of this hatred that Dolph keeps putting out in the atmosphere that he claims Gotti has for him behind the scenes, it could be very well possible. We don't know. All I can judge is what I see in the public domain. And Gotti spoke about that extensively in his Breakfast Club interview. If you want to check it out, you can check it out on my website, itsmrtaliaferro.com, or obviously you can check it out on the Breakfast Club YouTube. I thought it was as open as you'll get Gotti. I thought it was as open and honest or open about this situation as you'll get him. He discussed everything, young Dolph. He wasn't trying to dodge him. He acknowledged, I don't want to do interviews, because I thought that said a lot, because he knows this is the message that everybody's getting out there. He's like, yo, I can't even talk about the big business I got to deal with Puma. I got to deal with Monster. I got a new album coming out. Yo, we can't even get into that, because every interview that I'm going to do, I know what is going to be the center of that. And that's a rapper who wants to be number one. Let's make it clear. I believe in my heart of hearts, this is all about the Memphis cycle, right? I believe that in my heart of hearts. Gotti took it from 3-6, and a part of that was a beef that took place, by the way. We believe that Dolph wants that King of Memphis spot, and I think that's what he wants more than anything, to be profoundly the King of Memphis. But I would want Dolph and Paper Route, you know, they're doing their thing, and I love what Dolph's doing. I would love for it to stay just in the music, in the hit records, because I want to see both these brothers around. When that hurt me when I heard Dolph got shot. That hurt me. Like, and I don't know who it's tied to. I'm not trying to make no inferences here. We don't know. Nobody's been convicted or charged at this moment. I don't want anybody to get hurt over this. And it seems like it's continuing every few months. It's getting worse. I mean, think about it. We went from a diss record to a Charlotte shooting to another diss record, and now a bigger shooting where somebody actually got hit. Like, yo, this is not the energy that we need to be putting in the atmosphere. And I don't make these videos to classify or to be claimed a real nigga from the video. I ain't going for that. You be the judge if you think I'm telling the truth or not, or you think I'm trying to be as real as honest. Street cred, you're not dying with that. Cut the fuck out. Like, let's talk about life and death. Let's talk about two rappers who done put more artists on than anybody else has ever. So when you go talk about the lineage of Memphis rappers and some of the older rappers, 40 and up, go look at the chain of people that they put on. It ain't many. And a lot of the rappers 40 and up, let's keep it a stack while I'm talking. They barely still getting on themselves. Let's talk about the bad business that has been done year after year with Memphis rap. And let's talk about how Gotti and Dolph are rectifying that situation. Let's keep it honest. Y'all want me to keep it honest or what? Like, what's up? Like, y'all want me to keep it honest or what? Gotti and Dolph are putting on artists. I love what Dolph got going with the young and Key Glock. I heard his music. I love that. Key Glock is a young Dolph to me. They got that same braggadocious swagger. I want Dolph to be around to continue to put more key glocks on. I want Gotti to be around to put more money bags on. Like, and don't get me wrong, Moneybagg had his own thing going before this, but yo, I love to see Moneybagg in the position that he's in right now. This is great for Memphis. Do we get that? The more people in positions, the better it is. So all you niggas in my comment section like, yo, Gotti need to get at Dolph this, or Dolph need to get at Gotti that. That is stupid to me. That is real stupid talk to me. Please don't give me the street code in my comment section. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand what y'all niggas think is real or not. It's dumb. Please put an end to this beef. I don't know how that happens at this point, but I will say that Breakfast Club interview is the most you'll probably ever hear him talk about that. Again, some behind the scenes stuff going on that because I don't know what's fact or fiction, I can't speak on it. I will say this. Gotti talked about that brother extensively. He talked about how I'm acknowledging that it's hurting the business. I'm acknowledging that can be a factor when I go do interviews. I literally thought about not doing interviews because I don't want that to be the thing when I have the #1 rhythmic radio record in the country right now and rack it up. Yes, so the record that followed Cardi B, this is Gotti's first #1 in rhythmic ever, right? So he's like, the narrative ain't what me and Nicki just did. The narrative, the irony that Nicki's going to do the same thing. The narrative is about a person who I've never sent a diss record to, who I can't control what's going on. I can't do anything about it because I'm not the one who started it. He's like, so that's what he's pretty much saying in his Breakfast Club interview. I want you guys to watch the interview and talk about what I said and respond to my video. It's a very long clip about Young Dolph. It's going to hit the blogs later today. Y'all just know Taliaferro always on top of it first. Subscribe to my channel for more exclusive content like this. I'm out. What's going on is yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. And if you enjoyed this latest video, whether it's sports, hip-hop, or other culture-related activities, please subscribe to my channel right now. And if you want more from Taliaferro, you can always subscribe to the React channel for more of your latest reactions and music and sports highlights.